Hello, and welcome to Bucks Blast Podcast, the official podcast of Buchanan Community Schools, offering an inside look at the people, events, and initiatives that make our school district a vibrant and thriving part of the community. Each episode features interviews with students, staff, teachers, and community members, spotlighting their achievements, stories, and the unique programs that shape the educational experience at Buchanan Community Schools. In this special episode of the Bucks Blast podcast, we shine the spotlight on our brilliant Bucks Science Olympiad team as they gear up for the state tournament. Join us as we chat with team members and Coach Byron Cribley about their journey so far. Whether it's building towers, bungee jumps, or solving complex challenges, these students are proving that science truly rocks. And now, here's Superintendent Patricia Robinson.
Hello and welcome to the Bucks Blast podcast. Today we are joined by the coach of the Science Olympiad team and as well as some students, and I'd like for them to introduce themselves. We'll start with our coach.
Hi there, my name is Byron Cribley. I'm one of the two coaches here for Buchanan High School Science Olympiad team. Tom Brinks is our other coach. I teach science here at Buchanan High School, and Mr. Brinks also teaches math and science.
Hi, I'm Charles Spencer, and I'm a freshman on the Science Olympiad team, and I compete on the B division.
Hi, my name is Kim Carlson. I'm a senior on the Science Olympiad team, and I compete in the C division.
All right, thank you guys, and welcome to our podcast, and we are so excited to hear about all things Science Olympiad. Mr. Cribley, would you give us an overview of Science Olympiad?
Yeah, you bet. Science Olympiad is a program that the state of Michigan and many other states offer to students. It starts out in elementary school with the A division, and it's an opportunity for students to engage in science and to be able to apply their science skills while engaging in a variety of different activities. The B division is our middle school division, and here at Buchanan High School we have our 8th and 9th grade students participate, and our C division is the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade students. The events range in difficulties from build events, where students who excel with manipulating materials can build a device, test their device, be able to get data on their device, and be able to modify it to perform a certain task. Other events are just knowledge-based, where students who are enthusiastic about a certain topic can study and learn up more about it, and then it's a competition for how much do I know versus other students that compete in the same event. A third style event are more lab-based skills, where students will apply their knowledge of how to do science and make observations, collect data, and be able to take a lab activity, discover unknowns, and use their data to be able to analyze and come up with a conclusion, and based on how accurate they are as part of the competition. So it's a variety of different events that incorporate all the different skill sets of students while allowing them a platform to be able to compete in.
Okay, great. Thank you. Could you give us any an idea of specific activities that they might compete in?
Yeah, some of the ones that we highlight this year, one of our build events is bungee drop, and a student was given a task to create a bungee that can drop a certain mass from a certain height and get as close to the ground without hitting the ground. If we think of bungee jumping for, extreme athletes that like that kind of adrenaline rush, it's the same concept. And so the student has certain parameters and restrictions with that build event. So the competition has them have various masses from various different heights, and when we calibrate that device, we try to estimate what we can do and where we drop it from to get us close to the ground. That's a fun one. Some of our lab-based ones are, we have a chemistry event this year. We have a forensics event. There's earth science events with fossils and dynamic planet. Our physics events, which would include a helicopter, a tower, and optics. We also offer biology events, so there's microbiology, and there are life science events. So it's basically a nice mix match of all the major disciplines of science, from bio to chemistry, physics, and earth science.
Oh, great. So, and a lot of varieties for students who are interested could come in and participate. So, and Mr. Cribley, I know you've been doing this for a while. Why do you feel it's important to offer students these experiences?
So in my number of years of being involved here as a coach, the students that have participated are all volunteer, and it's awesome to be able to see students take an interest in science and want to continue to do activities that they enjoy. And so when students have a natural gravitation towards science and they can find a competition that can compete using those skills, it's super awesome to see kids excel at that. I love the idea of giving kids an opportunity to be able to do an academic club and do something that for them they enjoy. And, I like to be part of that to encourage them and see them flourish. All these students that come and participate in the club are all self-motivated to do the best that they can. Coach Brinks and I are there to help encourage and help give ideas, but it's all student-driven, and it's even more rewarding when you hear of upperclassmen that are like, hey, I'm graduating, but I'm going to go to college because I want to do this in science, or Science Olympiad has given me the confidence to be able to learn how to have setbacks. I referenced that bungee drop activity, and there's so much that we do in science that kids fail at, and that's just the nature of science, is that there's going to be struggles, there's going to be setbacks, but they develop the mindset of, I'm going to be determined to figure this out, I'm going to do better, I'm not going to get down on myself, and I'm going to figure this out. And that is a huge mental hurdle that if students figure this out when they're 15, 16, 17 years old, and they feel confident in their ability to go into be an adult, being like, I can have these setbacks, and Science Olympiad has taught me that there's going to be problems that I'm challenged with, but I'm going to overcome all of them. There's a lot of benefits and a lot of underlying themes that make Science Olympiad a very valuable club, and when kids embrace it and they're motivated to do the best and you see them win, it's outstanding. So we're proud of our kids' efforts, and we look forward to our state competition here on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So that's a great segue into talking to our students. Thank you, Mr. Cribley. So we have Cam and Charles here. And Cam and Charles, will you share what events do you participate in?
I participate in anatomy and physiology, dynamic planet, meteorology, code busters, and disease detectives.
This is my 5th year of Science Olympiad, and I have competed in a dozen different events over my 5 years, but this year I did tower, optics, and forensics.
So lots of activities you can participate in, and these are all your interests driven, like Mr. Cribley said, and this is all volunteer as well. So what is your favorite thing about being part of Science Olympiad?
My favorite thing about being a part of Science Olympiad is really collaborating with my partner Bailey, and like using both our knowledge and research to understand a topic and do well on it.
My favorite part is it's been an academic club that I could be part of. I'm very math and science based, so having a specific math and science club that I was able to participate in my free time that wasn't necessarily a class or a test that I optionally chose to do, and things that I genuinely loved about science, that's been my favorite part. It's been able to I've been able to branch off in different sciences and try new things within science on my own time that was not a class.
Oh, great. So, so you guys are headed to state on Saturday. Tell us about that.
Well, I've never been to state before, so I'm really excited, and I hope to learn a few things and have a fun experience.
This is my second time going to state. I'm as well super, super excited because state is just it's a whole different environment compared to our regional competition. There's so many more teams, so many more competitors, and you just meet so many different people from all over Michigan that are passionate about science just like you.
Mm-hmm. Great. So then, so is this, competition, you place first, then you go to another, is there a national competition?
There is a national competition, but you have to place first as like a team to go to national. If you place first individually, you unfortunately do not get an individual national.
Okay, great. Thank you. So you all are really into Science Olympiad. Lots of energy. There's passion behind this. There's your interests. You volunteered to be part of it. Help other students understand why this is great, why they should be part of Science Olympiad.
Science Olympiad is great, and like wanting to be a part of it is just like so fulfilling, because it's like learning something that's not like for a grade or like a test, and you're choosing to do it, and you're choosing to learn something and educate yourself, and then you get to show what you know and basically like compete your knowledge against other people.
I would say it's important for other students to try this because of, like Mr. Cribley talked about, the benefits it gave you. I was a very high level student, and until Science Olympiad, I never had really failed at anything. Mm-hmm. And Science Olympiad truly helped me learn that it was okay to fail, and that a failure did not necessarily mean that I was horrible at something. It just means that my design, my knowledge needed improvement, and it was okay to fail. Mm-hmm. And that's a super, super important life skill that Science Olympiad gave me my freshman year, which was super important to help me all throughout high school.
Oh, great. So not only you're getting knowledge, you're doing the research, you have your interests, you're also learning lifelong skills that's going to take you a long way. So Mr. Cribley or Charles or Cameron, is there anything else you'd like to share about Science Olympiad?
Well, I just think that we're really proud of our team this year. Our B team, we had 6 members that won their event at regions. And so because they won their event at the regional competition back in March, they were invited to represent our region in the state competition, and so they get a chance to compete. I think Charles qualified in multiple events based on him and Bailey's performance, but we're taking 6 students from our B team, which is outstanding. Our C team, they finished 3rd in the region, which also qualified our entire C team for a chance to compete at state. So we are taking 14 members from our C team to be able to compete on Saturday. And there's over 50 schools from the state of Michigan that we will be competing against. And when we take all of the top science minds and put them together in one competition, there's a lot of excitement and enthusiasm and opportunity to excel. And some of the highlights for the state competition are that students that win their events can earn scholarships for those particular programs. In years past, I think last year our state was at Western Michigan, and the forestry event was offering a $20,000 annual scholarship to colleges if students win that forestry event and then take on that major of forestry. And it's just an opportunity, again, for kids to be able to help with their future, help direct that. So there's a lot at stake. But again, we're just proud of our kids to be able to go represent Buchanan and to do the best they can and to excel and have an experience at Michigan State University that will be pretty fun and memorable. And so we're going to do the best that we can and wish our teams the best.
So if I hear this podcast and I'm a student or a parent and I want to be part of this for next school year, how do I get involved?
So our teams have limits on them. We can only compete with 15 members per team. And so our high school team, the C division, is usually pretty well set with a couple of alternates. But we do need some enthusiasm coming up from our 7th grade into 8th grade, and trying to get 8th grade students to participate when they haven't done that in the past or may not be familiar with it. So if there's any students that are coming up to the high school that are interested in science or excel at it, it's basically volunteer, where they come see myself or Coach Brinks and they're like, hey, I'm interested in this club. I hear you guys are having a meeting right after the Thanksgiving holiday. Tell me more about it. We'll have peers like Charles and Cam go around to 8th grade classrooms and, kind of recruit in a way, or just kind of demonstrate, like, this is why we think it's important. We have a lot of fun doing this. Consider doing this. And they kind of help build our program. So our upperclassmen help kind of lead that, which is necessary for us to continue to build the program. And when younger kids hear about, oh, you guys win and you have fun and you do fun things, and it's great, then it helps to keep our program sustainable.
Thank you all for listening to this episode of Bucks Blast Podcast, and go Bucks.
Thank you for listening to Bucks Blast Podcast. Tune in next time as we hear more stories about the amazing individuals that shape our community. Until then, let's go Bucks!